I'm going to share something with you. When Deborah Miner called me, I was actually baling hay. I was in a tractor. And phone rang, I answered it. And she told me who she was. And I'm going, yeah, this is a sales call. I'm not going to give my social security number. I'm not going to give my date of birth. I'm not going to say yes or okay. And when she said Hall of Fame, I go, what? And she goes, are you in a tractor? And I went, yeah. She goes, I was told that's where I'd find you. And I said, what is this? And she said it again. And you understand, I'm pretty simple. I'm just a country boy. Mike Burge grew up in Sand Springs. I did too, but just simple. I mean, just simple life and raised on the farm. My dad was a Baptist preacher, so I'm going, I'm not a football player, so what'd I do? And she laughed, and she goes, you got inducted in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. I go, for what? She goes, leadership. And she chuckled with me, and when she hung up, I got out of that tractor and got on my knees at God. And the accolades, the investigations, been a lot. You can ask David Weatherford, who's a great guy for an attorney. But if you all know David Weatherford, he's my friend. But we, Mike Carter, I can just go through. We've been through a lot. My chief, Todd Insberger, to bring the integrity in that town. I'm going to share something with you. When Deborah called me, she goes, you got to prepare a 30-minute speech. Now you got in mind, I was in a tractor with a baler running. You guys are going to be here for 2 hours. You're going to get hungry again, but I'll cut mine short. So anyway, I started the police department in 1980. I did that so I could supplement my farming, but I fell in love with police work. And I'm supposed to help people, make a difference. Dude, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I like the pursuits, guns, the bullets, the manhunt. Oh yeah, I liked it. And I stuck with it. First 3 years, in order to be turned loose in Sand Springs back in those days, you had to be in at least 2 fights. Tells you the character of the place. It was corrupt. It was not an ethical police department. Grievances, dissension, the different shifts were divided. Chief was divided. Just goes on and on. I had a complaint against me for brutality, FBI. If you all remember Don Kite, I remember Don Kite called me and they dismissed it. I had an old officer come to me and go, Daniel, your heart's better than this. And I was already a God-fearing man, but he said, read Romans 13, and I studied that. And my eyes got opened up. Those in authority are appointed by him. What's that mean? As I stuck my chest out, goes, you got to mind me, God appointed me. No. It's my responsibility to live to that calling. It's my responsibility to honor that, to keep the integrity of that. And it's hard, folks, especially when you're in a corrupt atmosphere that you partake in. It's a disease, and it's hard to turn it around. But we did. We did. We worked on it. We started hiring good people, Carter, Insbrenner, Mars. I still had some old dinosaurs there as I rose up through the ranks. When I become chief, in fact, one of the incidents, I'll share this with you. I'm off my speech. I'm going to tell you some stories. I was actually taking things. You heard about Mary C. Overby. That's one of the inductees. She was our finance director. I went to her, and at the time, the city manager, this is in the 80s, and told him the corruption and such I seen. And I started taking things to the federal building. One time I was over to the federal building. I worked nights, came back, and I got a phone call at my mom's house, and it was one of the corrupt chiefs. He go, what are you doing over at the federal building? I was pretty full of myself. I go, ain't none of your business, and I hung up. So you kind of tell what I was going through. They placed a girl in the back of my car. I can tell she either had a swimming suit on or bra and panties. I don't know. But I got out of that car, left it where it was at because it was a cage. She couldn't get out. I walked back to the PD. I went and dispatched and threw my keys. I said, you call whoever you need to and tell them to get that out of there. I'll be in the squad room. About an hour later, I saw the lights in my car squeeze back up to the squad room and went out there and went back on patrol. It was a time. There was other times when we were together, the names I shared that kept that integrity going. And one more one more story. I'll try to be quick. When I was looking for an assistant chief, the old officers brought me in their office, the union, and one of them got against the door of that office, never forget, and crossed his arms and leaned against it like that was going to hold me there, and told me to sit down, and I sat down. And they went to tell me who I was going to pick for my assistant. It was going to be one of them. I humbly listened to them with real intent. When I got up, I felt like Jesus in the temple clearing the house, and I walked out of there. They're no longer here. I didn't kill them. They're no longer, they're employed. I hired Mike Carter. He understood Matthew 13. That's been our foundation. He understands it. Our council understands it. Our mayors understand it. Our police officers understand it. I would bring them in when I was chief, my door open so they'll be comfortable in there, and tell them and give them a copy of Romans 13 and explain them what that calling is. I'd show them the video of the Rodney King, if y'all remember that incident, with not only those officers hitting on that man, but those in a circle. I said, those that are hitting, I'll prosecute you. Those that are watching, I'll fire your ass. That's okay. Ass is in the Bible. It's a Christian cuss word, okay? Me and my wife have a debate over that, but anyway. But I think you get the feel where we were headed with that. We did employee empowerment, love our employees, but we also believe in discipline. In that 20 years as chief, I had one grievance, and bless his heart, one officer union wouldn't even take his grievance, and I sat him down, showed him how to write it out, and he got up, and I said, let me have it, I'll accept it and take care of it. He was dismissed anyway. That's the only one I ever had in 20 years. Mike Carter's the same way. He was the greatest police chief I ever seen. He's a great city manager, great boss, because he understands this. And by the way, if you look for a training manual in leadership, how to treat people, it's in here. You just got to find it. It's in there. But through all the accolades, investigations, and there were a lot, I don't have time to share them with you. And someone wrote in my bio that he's highly intelligent. I don't know where they come up with that. Wisdom, seeing things, God opened doors for me, yeah, and it was just amazing what he showed me. Amy here, David here, Amy's our HR director. Carter and Todd knows some of the investigations that we had to do and went through. But it was God that opened my eyes to send me through that. I look it back and I go, how did simple Daniel do that? It wasn't me, folks. It wasn't me. Remember to stay humble. Do not forget where you came from. Pride will destroy you. Servanthood, you have to work on keeping those. To keep that integrity. I'm going for my notes now, you can tell, but still, it's from my heart. Dissension will destroy. It'll destroy an entity. It'll destroy a church. It'll destroy. You have to resolve it. Anger gives a foothold for the devil. You know what I'm talking about. Good people run a city and it will prosper. It's in the Bible, folks. Look at it. It's there. Find a way to resolve conflict. If you got a coworker, another councilman that you have tension with, you will probably just disagree because you don't like them, get it resolved. And I'm going to pick on Mike Carter. He is the best I've seen at that. He will go and resolve that because it stalemates your mission and it will fester and destroy an entity. Be humble, be a servanthood. I watched, we had a lady call. She had a dead tree in her yard. Y'all know the story. It's in her on her land. We couldn't touch it. Nobody wanted to take her calls. Mike went home after hours, about 7 o'clock, had on his shorts and flip-flops. Sorry for that image. And he walked 2 blocks to her house because he remembered he got home and visited with her. That's servanthood, folks. And he realized financially she was a very feeble lady, and he took care of it. And we all know those stories, but that's servanthood. Have a relation with your employees. I like mingling with them. I'll get in the trenches with them. Just lately, and I think someone took a picture of it, I was building a fence out that dog pound, and I had my feed truck, and I said, I'll fix that fence. We ain't paying $2,500 to do that. And while I was down there, water treatment pulled up a backhoe, and the superintendent's watching the backhoe sitting there idling. And I went out the gate and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm waiting for an operator." I said, "For what?" I said, "We got to tear that shed down." I said, "I'll do it." I jumped in it, took that bucket, sliced that thing, smashed, bang, 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 and got out. You could have put that building in a hefty trash bag and hauled it off. And there was 3 guys standing there now, their eyes open, and they go, "You didn't put the outriggers down." I went, "Oh." And they patted in the back, said, You're something else." I said, "Have fun." And they all laughed, and I walked off, said, "If you want me to operate that again, call me." They ain't called me again, but look at the relationship, and we do that there. We do that in Sand Springs. We come out of our ivory tower and spend time with our employees. Keep God first, your wife and your family second, and your work third. This event, that phone call, humbled me. Well, I'm looking through my Bible, talking about forgive those, and I'm looking about what do I share with these people they can take with them, and about forgiveness, resolving dissension, because it will destroy. I had my own issues in my personal life. I went home, called my wife, and said, "I've been a butt." That's not in here. And I said, "I am sorry. I'm sorry." Don't take it home, folks. I did, but she's here with me tonight, and my kids. I'd like for my family to stand up and my co-workers to stand up. This is my family. My co-workers is a success. I owe this medallion to them. It's not me. This is my vote. Thank you all. And thank you guys for your support.